Hello and welcome. In the previous video, we learned what variables are. In this video, we will learn few more things related to variables. Okay? Now, here let me declare a variable age equal to 17. Okay? Now, using cout object, let me print it out. Okay? So now when I hit run, I get 17 as result. Now we can declare a variable first and then later we can assign a value to it. Meaning, so here I can just say int age. Okay, I'm saying int and age. I am declaring a variable, but I am not assigning any value to it. I can assign it at a later stage. Okay. So here in this line, let me say age equal to 18. Now when I hit run, I get 18 as result. So I am declaring it here and then assigning it in the next line. Alright. So we can do this. Next, we can change the value of variable. So let me show it to you. So here I am saying int age equal to 17. So now when I run it, I get 17 as a result. Let us say at a later stage, I want to update this value or I want to change this value. I can do that. So here, let me say age equal to 18. Okay, age equal to 18. And now let me print it out. Alright. So now when I hit run, you can see I get 17 and 18 in the same line. So here let me use end line manipulator to get it in separate lines. This line is getting me 17 as output, whereas this line is getting me 18 as output. Okay. So I have declared age equal to 17 and then printing it out, but then I'm changing it to 18. So you can notice that when I'm changing or updating the value of the variable, I don't have to type int once again. Okay, so this is not required because I have already mentioned that age will be storing integer values, so no need to once again mention it here. Okay, I hope it is clear. Next, we can perform operations on variables. So let me show you. So here I will say int a equal to 17 and int b equal to 3. Alright. So now what we can do is we can add a and b. So I will say a plus b. Alright, a plus b. So now when I run it, I get 20 as a result. So 17 is stored in A, 3 is stored in B. Here I am saying A plus B. So 17 and 3 will be added and it will be shown as result. Okay. Now you can directly print this or you can store this value in one more variable and then print it out. So what I mean is you can say int sum. This is a variable called as sum. Int sum equal to a plus b. So what I'm basically saying is add the values of a and b and whatever you get as a result, store it in sum. And now when I want to print it out, I can just print sum. Okay, I get the same result. Alright, so we can perform operations minus, into, divided by, everything. Clear? Now, we can declare multiple variables in a single line too. Let me show you how. So here instead of saying int a equal to 17, int b equal to something else, you can just say int a is equal to 17 and then separated by a comma. You can say b is equal to 3. Okay. If you want to declare one more variable, use a comma and then use c equal to 5. So basically I am declaring three variables a, b, c and assigning values to them in a single line. Now this works only if all the three will be storing the same data type, okay, value of same data type. Okay, so now let me say a plus b plus c, a plus b plus c. Okay, so when I hit run, I get 25 as result. Okay, now this is if you want to assign different values. If you want to assign same value to multiple variables, you can do that in a single line too. So let me say int a comma b comma c. So here I am declaring three variables. I am not assigning anything to them. In the next line I will say a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to 5, for example. Okay, meaning all the three variables will be storing 5. A will have 5 in it, b will have 5 in it, c will have 5 in it. Okay, so now when I hit run, a plus b plus c will get me 15 as result. Clear? So we can assign the same value to multiple variables in a single line. Next, about the rules of naming. I had mentioned few rules in the previous video. So now I will explain them in detail. Okay. Now the names of variables can contain letters, digits and underscores. Okay. Meaning, let me delete this. Okay, let me delete this too. All right, and this too. So it can contain letters like this, it can contain digits like this, and it can contain underscores too. All right, it can contain underscores too. But then if you want to begin the name of the variable, then you cannot begin it with a number, just like what I had mentioned in the previous video. Meaning, you can do this age 25, you can have this as a variable name, but then 25 age is not allowed. Okay, 25 age is invalid. Whereas you can start it with an underscore, you can use underscore age. This is fine. Okay, you can say 45. This is okay. So variable names must begin with a letter or an underscore. Okay. Next, the variable names are case sensitive, meaning int age equal to 45 and int age equal to 50 are two different variables. Okay, so here we have lowercase or small letter, here we have uppercase or capital letter. So this age is different from this. This is different variable, this is a different variable. Okay, so the variable names are case sensitive. Okay, next, you cannot have blank spaces in variables, meaning you cannot have age of person 1, you cannot have this as variable name. All right, you cannot have white spaces, or you cannot have special cases too. You cannot have age for example hash symbol, or age exclamation mark, or age percentage symbol. All right, if you want to have multiple words as variable names, use underscores. Age of person 1, this is fine, but you cannot have blank or white spaces. Okay, next, there are few reserved keywords, meaning C++ has some keywords reserved for its functionality, and you cannot use them as variable names. Okay, for example, let me say cout. All right, so here I'll say cout and use this and say cout. Okay, I will run it, and you can see I get no output. So I cannot use cout as variable name because cout is an object name here. I cannot use int, okay, as variable name because int is reserved for integer, correct? Or let me use float. So int float is the name of the variable that I am giving, in which I want to store 45. This will give me an error because float is reserved keyword. Okay, so it gives me an error. All right, so there are few reserved keywords. You can go to google.com and you can search reserved words of C++ and you will get a list, and the words in that list cannot be used as name for a variable. Clear? Yes. Next, about constant. See, now I mentioned that you can change the value of a variable, correct? So here I am saying a equal to 45 and then I am changing it to 13. So now when I try to print out a, I will get the latest value. But what if you do not want a value of a variable to be changed by you or by someone else? What if you want to prevent changing of the number? If you want to do that, you can use const keyword. Okay, when you do not want others or yourself to change the values of variable, you can use const keyword. Now this, what it will do is it will make the variable a constant. Okay, so here I will say const. So this is the keyword that we use to make a variable unchangeable. All right, so here let me say year of birth. Okay, so this is the name of the variable. So here I will say 1988. Okay, 1988. So let me delete this, and if you see, if I, and here I have to say int. So if I run it, you can see I get 1988. So I am saying I want to store 1988 in this variable. This is the name of the variable and this is integer value. But then in the beginning I am saying it should be a constant, meaning that it should not be changed later in the program. So here if I say year of birth is equal to 1990, okay, if I say year of birth equal to 1990 and if I run it, I will get an error. Okay, I will get an error saying it is read only variable, meaning that it is a constant. Clear? I hope this is clear. Now we have learned a lot about variables and I believe it is enough of it. So before I end this video, I want to tell you about commenting. Okay, so let me remove this. And let me say int age equal to 5, and let me say int weight equal to 77. Okay, here let me say cout age, and let me say cout weight. Okay, and here let me add end line manipulator. So now when I run it, I get 5 and 77. Okay, now see, before this line, if I use 2 forward slashes or if I type in 2 forward slashes and now if I run it, you can see that I get only 77 as a result, meaning only weight gets printed. This line doesn't get printed. Why? Because I have used two forward slashes. Let me remove this. Let me run it, and you can see I get 5 and 77. Let me have two forward slashes in front of this, behind this line, and now when I run it, I get only age value as a result, meaning only this gets executed and not this. This is one use of commenting. If we do not want any line to be executed temporarily, then we can type two forward slashes at the beginning of that line, and when we run it, that line will not be executed. Okay, if you want to prevent any line from executing, you can do this. This is one use of commenting. Okay, next, one more use of commenting is to leave notes for yourself and for others too. So let us say that you are working on a big project where the program has thousands of lines. Now you may have been working on it since past 1 year. Now, to avoid getting confused, what you can do is leave notes for yourself, and you can leave notes for yourself by using forward slashes. So here let me say, below lines declare variables. Okay, below lines declare variables. Now this is a note to yourself or someone who goes through your program. When they look at your program, they will come to know that below lines declare variables. Of course, it is evident here. One who looks at it will make out that they are declaring variables. But then still, if you want to write something or give notes to yourself, you can do that. Anything with two forward slashes behind it will be ignored by the compiler, or they will not be executed. Okay, so here you can say below lines print the data. Okay, print the data. So you can run it and you can see there is no effect of this on the output. Okay, so we use commenting to leave notes to ourselves. All right, so you will use this when you work on a project. Of course, here when I am teaching you, I will not be using this because it is not required. Okay, now this is single line commenting. If you want to prevent multiple lines from execution, then you can have forward slash star and star forward slash. Okay, whatever is inside or between this and this will be skipped, meaning they will not be executed. So here if I run the program, we will not get anything. That is because we have commented these two lines out, meaning these two lines will be skipped when executing. Okay, so if you want to comment multiple lines, use forward slash star to mark the beginning and star forward slash to mark the end. Alright, now instead of using this, you can also use forward slashes here and here. It is left to you. But if it is many number of lines, you can use forward slash and star. Clear? So commenting is used to leave notes to yourself and to others, and also to prevent any line from temporarily executing. Clear? I hope it is clear. Now that is it for this video. I want you to go out and practice everything that we have learnt in this video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.